Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Human beings, I'm going to point out something that every one of you should put into consideration, either when you are listening to the message that I sent to human beings, or when you think of, if you have a child, when you think of the children you have, if you have a mother, when you think of your mother, and if you have, maybe you have a business. Whatever I'm going to say, I do say, or whatever I say, I do say those things, or those interpretations or guidance, so that men and women can look into their faces, in their faces, because if you had a business and someone was to enter into your whatever, maybe let's say you are selling clothes or food, and if someone was to enter a restaurant to ask for food, or a cloth where they sell clothes, do you think that person entered your shop because she or he is a fool? That's the question I'll ask you. So with that, as I've always said that human beings, do not ever tell a lie to your brain, and do not ever tell a lie to your heart. With that statement said, if you are a business, you conduct business within your communities, I don't know, wherever you are on this planet, make sure that that business, the biggest percentage of your business, whatever you do, is to contribute to peace and harmony, to the societies or to the communities in which you are. Make sure that the kind of business you do wherever you are on this planet is to dispense, because even when you have a business, in one way or the other, you are dispensing peace, so long as that business does not sell the weapons. Weapons are things like guns, assault rifles, artilleries, poison, alcohol. Once you involve those whatever that I've mentioned, the guns and whatever, and also that includes there's some theologies, some dirty theologies, which desecrates the integrity of human beings. So with that, I would suggest that whatever kind of business you do, if you feel that in one way or the other it's an impediment to the beauty of the human race, please dump it, stop it. Stop selling weapons to one another. Because you might sell a weapon this morning to a madman, and by 12 evening, the victim will be either your so-called cousin or your mother, whatever, and so on and so on. That way, you are not contributing to peace and harmony, either to your own community or to anybody else. And the other thing, if I go, is that human beings always look up to celebrate, to be a living human being. The only way, and I beg every mother that has ever held a child in her womb, the only way you can celebrate that man or that woman's birthday that you brought onto this planet is by looking at them when they are healthy. Well, not when they are bleeding. Looking at them and they're looking at you and you are all healthy. But if you let your child trample over this one, over, and with a gun or whatever in his hand. That causes pain not only to those who are kind of injured, but also to you. Because in the same way, if he takes down, whereby if he kills other people, in one way that what took over his it might come and kill you too as a mother. So that way, I would advise every mother that has ever held a child in her womb, do guide your children not to be burdened, not to be a burden to you as well as to any other members of society. With that, you as young girls and young women today, whoever hears this message, do not ever cross the line and enter the line where they sell alcohol or drugs. Do not, as young girls and young women and young men, do not ever go in the comfort zone whereby you are able to recognize that it's daytime. If you put drugs in your body, let's say alcohol, or drugs, or any substance, that means you cannot see. You don't know what happens. You don't know what's going on. Because the reason why I say that is that anyone who touches, who puts drugs in their bodies, a human soul that guides men that this is this, which allows men to walk in a balanced motion, where when they are not struggling. Once you put any substance means drugs, that soul ejects, because that's the law that governs human bodies. That soul ejects this whatever that you are in, and then you become something. And sometimes I've seen it on whatever they call them, zombies. Sometimes the people are even worse than zombies. So that way, you are likely, because whatever, when you become something similar to zombie or worse than a zombie, you have no any way you will ever have what you call accounting, reasoning accountability in whatsoever that you do. If you lose your reasoning accountability, you do anything harmful to yourself as someone who has taken substances, and you do anything, you without knowing that you are harming other people under the influence, because you are under the influence of alcohol or any substance. That way, you are in what we call uncharted waters. You have no reasoning accountability whatsoever. And without the reasoning accountability, you can't see. So that is a very deadly kind of time that men, for years, men who have been consuming alcohol and children and whatever, they end up in that kind of state. So with that, I say to you, Islam says, do follow the what we call divine holy prescriptions of directives that governs men and women, never to consume alcohol or use any substance. That way you'll be free from any deadly consequences of drunkenness and foolishness. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.